Hey everybody, it's Jason with the Board Game Mechanics, and today we're going to take a look at a game called Wonderland's War. Wonderland's War is a game designed by a whole pile of designers. We have Ben Eisner, Tim Eisner, Ian Moss, and Manny Trimbley, published by Skybound Tabletop. Plays 2 to 5 players, 25 minutes per player. And in this game, what we are trying to do is restore frivolity and madness to Wonderland. So let's read the theme here. Where once there was a joking and frivolity, now there is just anger. The Tea Party is entirely sane. The Red Queen speaks in whispers, the Jabberwock has escaped the poem, and Alice returns to find Wonderland in a pale shadow of its former self. Each leader takes up arms to restore the Wonderland they loved. Some fight for eternal tea parties, some for the sake of fighting, others wish to remove all the heads. Guess who that is? And one wishes for nothing more than a return to the perfectly illogical Wonderland that was. So, what a Wonderland that's sane, that's boring. We gotta get the madness back, and that's what we're doing. But really what we're doing in this is we are playing a game in 2 phases. The first phase, we're going to be moving around this tea party, collecting cards, which are going to give us tokens to put into our bag, because this is a bag building game where we're going to be getting tokens into our bag to pull them out later. Or maybe get rid of madness shards, maybe get Wonderlandians to come help and assist us, maybe help build towers, all that kind of thing. So we're going to get cards to help us up, make our powers better. Then in the second half, we're going to be pulling those chips that we've acquired out of our bag, trying to win a series of battles to score points, build towers, all that kind of thing. So that's enough talking about it. Let's go to the table. Check it out. All right, so here's a game of Wonderland's War, all set up for 2 players. Now, I'm going to go through setup, but there are a few changes for 2 player, and I'll try to mention those as I talk about setup. So the setup, you're going to put the board in the middle of the table. In a non-2 player game, you're going to start the sword in red keep, but in a 2 player game, you're going to pick one region that we're not using. I picked the Pool of Tears, so I blocked it off and put the Wonderlandians on top of it. And the sword is going to start on wit's end. And then you're going to roll this die, the shard die, and it's going to move that many spaces. So we're still starting in red keep just by happenstance. Then, also in a 2 player game, you're going to use 1 battle marker from a random non-used player and started on 3. So in order for someone to win this, they have to beat the non-playing player. Put all the shards in the middle of the table, some extra madness because we're going to need that. Each player will start at the head of the table. You're going to shuffle the level 1 cards and put them around the table like I've done. In a 3 or 4 player game, you'll have, or a 4 or 5 player, you'll have cards accordingly. You're going to randomly set out these scoring tiles for all of them. I've done that. And then you're going to set up, each player is going to get 2 quests and pick one. So there's their quest. And then this player will have theirs just hanging out over here. And then you're going to set up the player board. So if you look at the player board, each player is going to have 5 of these little discs here. One's going to go on leader strength of 1, and then 1 covering each of the special abilities that we need to unlock. The sword, or the shield, will go on the non-broken shield side here. We'll have 5 castles. The first player gets 2 shards, which I have here. You'll put 1 of your supporters on the first 2 spaces here, 2 there, and 4 of your artifacts will go over here on these spaces. Then you're going to get a whole bunch of other chips, and in a 2 player game, you're going to get an extra forge chip, which is that chip right there, and it all goes in your bag. Then you're going to have a whole bunch of supporters left over. I just had them off screen that you're going to be able to use on the board. Then you're going to pick an ally group. I picked A just because it's the intro ally group, and I don't have all the chips out here, I just have some. And then each of the allies are going to have a special ability. They're all spelled out on a card that each player will get right here. I don't have that out here because I don't have enough room, but everything they do is here. And in a non-2 player game, each player would also get these wager cards, because when you're not participating in a battle, then you have to wager to see who you think is going to win. But in a 2 player game, those are not necessary. All right, now I think that's the setup. Let's just go ahead and get playing, and we'll see what happens. I'm probably not going to play. I'll play probably 1 round, and that's it. And then you're going to get the gist, because it's just going to be that 1 round, the same thing, 3 times. All right, so the way the game works is on your turn, you're going to take your character and you're going to move around the table. I think Alice moves the opposite way. So normally you go clockwise, but Alice is going to be moving this way. All right. And then you're going to pick a card. And in a 2-player game, we're going to draft 5 of these cards. Okay, and these cards are going to help us get new chips in our bag. They may get rid of some shards. They may give us some Wonderlandians. They may give us more battle strength. They do a whole bunch of awesome things. But the better they are, the more chance we have of going a little bit mad. You got to roll that madness die. All right. So let's go ahead and go. So Cheshire is first. And I think... Ooh, all right, I'm going to go here. So you can move as far as you want. I'm going to go here. All right, so these cards say a couple things. They're going to tell you how many supporters you can put out in one location. Some of the special characters break that rule, but not at this time. So I have 3 supporters that I can put out in one location. Now I want to look at my quest card. My quest card says the Red Keep, so I'm going to try to start focusing on the Red Keep. So let's go over here. So I'll put 3 supporters in the Red Keep. Then I get a level 1 card soldier. It'll go in my bag. And then I get to get rid of 1 shard. It goes back into the supply. And I keep this card in front of me so I know how many cards that I've drafted. All right. So that's that. Then it will be Alice's turn. And Alice is just going to do this. She's going to go right here. Sorry, wrong way for Alice. She can go either way she wants. She goes this way. She's going to go here, actually. And she will... Standy's object. There we go. And she will take this card. She'll get to put out 1 supporter. And what's her card say? Her card wants her to be in Wits End, so she's going to start battling in Wits End. And then she gets a Forge token. And any level 1 that she wants. And I think she's going to take the Flamingos. And I'll talk about a little bit what these chips do when we get to that phase of the playthrough. But right now, not important. So she gets that card. All right, back to me. Ooh, I'm going to take some roses. I'm just going to go here. I get 2 level 2 roses. So I'll take 2 level 2 roses. But I also get to put 2 people down. And let's spread some of this around. I don't want Alice to be uncontested over here, so I'll go over there. And then I have to roll the madness die. And my special ability is, I'm on the wrong side of the board. There's 2 player sides of the board, which I should be on. But the 2-player side of this one is if you roll a 3, you don't have to take madness. So I'll roll, but I still get madness shard. Sorry, I always flip that the wrong way. I didn't want to reset it back up. So I think that's the same on 2-player. So it's not that big a deal here. But just know there's a 2-player side that you should be using. And that's 2 for me. And then Alice's turn. Alice is going to go here. She'll get to take 2 supporters out. She doesn't want me to be uncontested here. And she's going to take a Wonderlandian card. Now, when you take a Wonderlandian, they are yours for the duration of the game. All right? They're going to either offer you chips to put in your bag or an extra character. I think she's going to take Caterpillar. For the first draw, each player draws 2 chips. You choose one they play, and they return 1 to their bag. So that's cool. And it doesn't have any battle strength, but it's cool. And it goes out onto the board immediately. Let's just put it Toggy Woods. And then this card will stay in front of her. Again, I don't have enough room for that, so it's just off screen. All right, then back to me. We each have 2 cards. Card number 3. I'm going to go all the way around the table because I'm going to show you what happens. We go all the way around the head of the table. When you make it to the head of the table, 2 things happen. You roll the die. You have to take madness shards. If I would have rolled a 3, I didn't have to take any madness shards. Then you're going to refill all the seats that have nobody standing at them. It's going to basically help you get more cards out. All right? And then you get to keep going and try to pick a card. And I think I'm going to go here. This is going to give me 3 people out. I'm going to put those 3 people right here. I'm going to increase my battle strength. Now I'm at battle strength 2. And I get a Forge token, which is good. And then I had to roll the die. I'm doing a lot of die rolling. Got a 2. I am going to be mad here soon. So I have 6. The whites are 5. The black ones are 1. All right. And that's my 3rd card. All right. Alice's turn. She's going to go right here. And she's going to get a Wonderlandian. And when you take a Wonderlandian, a new one comes out. She's going to get a Wonderlandian and a level 1 chip. And I think She's going to take the biscuits, so those will go in her bag. She'll keep that off to the side so I can see what's going on. And then she'll take a level 1. There's Walrus. And she will take... She wants a Flamingo, I think. All right, and all this stuff goes in her bag. She gets the card. We now each have 3 cards. And back to me. I'm going to come over here. Get to put 1 person down. Let's go here, so I can be involved in all the battles. I get an extra quest. So now I'm looking at Wits End, which is good because I have stuff in Wits End. And I get a level 1 Flamingo. Whoops, man, every time. I cannot hold these chips. All right, that's 4. Back to Alice. Alice will just go... She's going to go right here, actually. She gets to put 2 supporters down. And I think she's going to come over here. She has to roll the die. She gets 1 shard. And then she gets 2 level 1 creatures. The creatures are cool, and we'll talk about them a little more later. All right, so she has her 4 cards. Now we're each getting our last card. Then we're almost done with the tea party phase. So let's see, what does Cheshire want? I need to get rid of a shard. So I don't have 3 people. Let's go. Yeah, that's fine still. I don't have 3 workers to put out, and I don't want to move any around. But I'm going to put my last person out. We'll put them there. And then I get to forge token, and I get to get rid of a shard, which I think it's too little too late, but that's fine. All right, and then that's my 5th card. And then Alice has to go to the head of the table. She's got to roll. She gets 3 shards. Ooh, that might have helped me, actually. Now we're tied. All right, so I'll flip 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so what does she want? She's actually going to come over here. She's going to take this level 1 Flamingo. So she gets a level 1 Flamingo. She will get to get rid of a shard, which now not good for me. That's why she took that card. And she gets to put 3 supporters out, which is why she wanted it, because she needed to get some supporters out there. And she wants to put them right here. This one's worth 12 at the 3rd round, so getting some supporters out early is good. And then that's her last card. All right, now, when you're done taking cards, it comes back to you. You have to put your supporter in a location. So let's go to... I'm going to go to Wits End. Yes, I'll go to Wits End. And then Alice is going to go to... I forget where she said she wanted to go. She wanted Wits End too, but I think she's instead going to just come down here for now. All right. Now, we're done with the tea party phase. Well, almost. First thing that happens is we're going to see who has the most shards of madness. Whoever has the most shards of madness is going to take 2 madness tokens, and everybody else gets 1. So Alice has 4. I have 5. So I get to discard half of mine, which is rounded up. So I'll keep 2. I get 2 madness tokens, and Alice will get 1. All right. And that is now the end of the tea party phase. Let's go to the battle phase. All right, so let's talk about battling. So the battles are always going to start where the sword is, okay? And the way battling works is, think of, if you know what the game Quacks of Quedlinburg is, think of that. And we're going to do that every time there's a battle. And that means we're going to pull chips out of our bag at the same time. So I'll pull 1, Alice will pull 1. Then we're going to take the action of our chip, move up on this battle track. And what we're trying to do is, we're trying to move up as high as we can on this battle track before we bust. And busting means you lose all your supporters in a region, okay? If you win, you get points, and you get to put down a castle, but in a 2-player game, the castle goes down sideways. You have to win twice to build it. Castles are worth points, but as long as they're on the board, they give you extra battle strength. If you come in second, you get half the points. And if there's a tie, you either get points or a castle, all right? And keep in mind, we have to beat this red token to even qualify to win, all right? So let's start at Red Keep. We'll first look at strength. No one has a character there. No one has a tower. No Wonderlandians. Supporters are not worth any strength, so no one has any strength. But I have 3 supporters. Alice has 2. All right, so let's go ahead and start drawing. So what this works is you're going to reach in your bag and you're going to draw a chip. I have a 2. When you pull out a token, you move it however many times it says. And if it was one of the allies or one of your Wonderlandians, you get to do the special ability. Okay, or if you unlock a special ability for some of your chips. I don't have that. So that's me. Now we'll go to Alice. Again, this would all be happening at the same time, but I'm only one person. She has a creature. A creature doesn't do anything right now. Their special ability happens when the chips are exhausted, so they get to move 1. All right. Now Alice will draw, just because I already have her bag. She has her Sword of Hope. No special ability yet because she hasn't unlocked it, but that lets her move 3. And then I will get to move, hopefully, Double Madness. All right, so when you pull Madness out, bad things happen. So what happens is I can either use my shield and flip it to put that chip back in the bag, but I don't want to do that yet. But you have to lose supporters based on the number of crossed out supporters on here. So I lost 2 supporters. So now I'm closer to busting because I pulled out Madness. So I'm going to, Cheshire's going to go again. All right, so there we go. I busted. So I'm done. And I could have stopped and not pulled chips, but I didn't want to stop yet. Then it's Alice's turn. As long as she doesn't bust, she can win this battle. All right, she could stop if she wants to, but she's going to go 1 more. So she'll go 1 more. And now she is done. And I'll tell you why she wanted to go 1 more right now. So she's the only one that didn't bust. She bypassed the second, or the neutral character, so she's going to score. She gets 2 points if I can reach this. This board's so big. And then she gets to place one of her castles down sideways. This still counts as 2 battle strength, but it's not completely built yet in a 2-player game. All right. Then for every forge token that you pull out or forge symbol that you're on the track, you can forge. Okay. So she's on a forge. Now what forging means is you take one of your tokens, you put it on one of these spaces down here, and you will collect the bonus of that. And if you ever get all the way to the end, you unlock your artifact. Okay, and I think that's what she wants to do. So she's going to forge her level 1 Alice character. And I think she's going to go ahead and go here. And then I'll get rid of a shard, because that's the shortest track and she's trying to get to her number 3. All right, so that's the end of that battle. Oh, nope. Wrong place, sorry. We're over there. So she actually gets 4 points instead. Sorry, I forgot where we were, even though the sword's right there. All right, so that's the end of that battle. Now, we're going to go to this battle, the one that I was trying to be in earlier. So we all reset back to 0, and now we're going to count up our strength again. So she has the caterpillar there. The caterpillar doesn't give any strength, but for the first draw, each player draws 2 chips, and the player who has a caterpillar gets to pick which one they play, which is pretty cool. And I don't have any strength, so nobody has any strength. Now, all the chips that were used in the previous round go down to the exhausted, so they're out until you get all of your Madness chips in the bag, and then everything resets. And then we're ready to go. So I will pull first. You have to have supporters in the region. All right, so I got a rose. I moved 2. When you pull a rose out, the special ability is you get a point. So I get a point. All right. Now it's Alice's turn. And Alice is going to double Madness. I didn't use the special ability either, but that's fine. But normally you would pull 2 chips out of the bag and you'd resolve 1. That's fine. So she loses 2 Madness. She's not flipping her shield. But I forgot one more thing. When the creature gets exhausted, it becomes a level 5 creature. So they flip-flop. And when a level 5 gets exhausted, it becomes a level 1. So they're going to increase in value and decrease in value. Back to this. All right, so she gets to move up 1. And she has the March Hare Biscuit. And that does, when played, all opponents gain 1 shard. So I get a shard for that. All right. Then back to me. Do I have any Toggy Wood stuff? Nope. All right. And then I will draw. I have a level 1 Smile, so I get to move 1. Okay. And then back to Alice. Okay. Madness. She's gonna get rid of the caterpillar. because it's not really doing much and it's counted as a supporter, so that's fine. Back to me. Madness. Okay, I have 2. This goes down here, just kidding. And then back to Alice. Flamingo. All right, so that'll move her 1. And then her next chip will be doubled. The strength will be doubled. So she's going to go ahead and pull another one. It's a Forge, so that's goes up 2. She's now across the threshold of the red token, which is good. I need to get to that threshold. Madness. All right, so I'm going to use my shield. I'll use my shield, and this will go back in the bag, and I'll pull something else out. Forge, number 1 Forge. All right, now Alice wants to decide if she wants to be done. I think Alice is going to be done. So I need to try to keep going to beat Alice, so let's see. And I did. All right, so I'm now done as well. All right, so I get first place, so I get 2 points. And I get to build my castle halfway. And Alice gets second, so she will get a point. All right, and that is that. And that's effectively how the battles are going to go. We're going to go through around all of them and do the resolving. Now, quest cards, let's talk about that. So say we were in Wit's End, up there, where my Cheshire character is. If we're in Wit's End and I can end a battle with strength of 3, 4, 9, or 10 on this track, I can flip this card up and I can get it worth 3 points at the end of the game. That's how you're going to know that you did the top. The bottom is an in-game objective, so you're always able to score that. And if you can do both of them, this card is worth 9 points. So in order to know that you've done the top, you have to flip it. The bottom is always able to be done. So that's kind of why you want to go to certain locations so you can do the feats, try to score more points. All right. And then after we've done all the battles, we will get rid of the level 1 cards, bring out the level 2 cards. We'll sweep the Wonderlandians, get 3 new ones, and then whoever has the least amount of points will get started on this round, and we keep going. And that's it. That's the gist of the game. One more thing. Once you drop out your last madness, so say I bring out, let me find it. Of course, I can't find it now. If I was actually playing, I would draw it like immediately. All right. So say I bring out my last madness. A couple things happen here. I get to reset my entire bag. So what that happens, it means I get to flip my shield, which is why I used it on that one battle. Then I take all my madness chips, all my exhausted chips, and put them back in the bag. All right, and then I have more chips to play with. So that's the only way you're going to be able to reset your bag, other than some of the special characters and abilities and all that kind of thing. And then one more thing I didn't show you: this symbol here, the arrow, is going to be how you're going to unlock your special abilities to be able to use them moving forward. So, like if I unlock this, now my artifacts do something other than just move me 3, which is pretty cool. So I'll let you kind of explore that on your own, but they're really cool. So now, that's how you play Wonderland's War. Let's go up the top, see what we think about it. All right, well, that was Wonderland's War. So, we talk about components a little bit here. You saw everything that this game has to offer on the table, but I'm going to just show you a little bit of the art because I like the art. I'm going to show you the standees because this is the retail version. I don't buy deluxe stuff, but I'm going to show you the standees, which has some amazing art. So, White Rabbit, the Caterpillar, fantastic. Dormouse. I don't know who this is. Who is it? I don't know who that is. The Unicorn, amazing. The hare, the March hare. Tweedle. I love the art. The art's fantastic. These standees look amazing. That's Humpty. These standees look amazing on the board. I know there are some miniatures. I don't have the miniatures, but for my 5 cents, I prefer this. Now, our version also comes with non-upgraded tokens, but I do have them in coin caps, so they'll be able to withstand a little bit of wear. So there's some of the tokens that go with some of the Wonderlandians. They have really great art as well. There's a whole pile of them. There's flamingos. There's roses, all on theme. The rook, all on theme with Alice in Wonderland. Madness, because you gotta have madness. The board is, you saw all that. I'm not going to get that out. I love the box. Everything about this, even these components without the cap are still really nice, but We have Quacks that we play a lot without the caps, and the bits start getting a little rough. So the caps should make this at least last longer. So that's good. So production's top notch, fantastic. That's just the basic. Oh, well, let me show you some more, I guess. Here's some castles. All these castles in the retail version are the same, but they're still really nice. They all look like this. They're just the color of your character. Those are really nice towers or castles. Fantastic production. The bags are kind of cheap, but it's a bag, who cares? You can put it in a cup if you want, doesn't really matter. So yeah, production's top notch, love it. The deluxe version, I have seen that in action. The deluxe chips are amazing. The miniatures look great on the table, but again, I don't have that kind of money to buy that. So the retail version, while it's not as nice as the deluxe, with these coin caps, it's definitely doing the job of at least feeling good in the bag. So production is great. Now let's talk about this game. So one of my issues with Skybound is they market their games to be like these big, grandiose, like battling, interactive, like games that like dudes on a map is always how they make me feel. Like I felt like when they were selling this game, it was this big area control battle game set in Wonderland, grandiose 5-hour game. That's the vibe that I got. Then I see it played, and this is basically moving around the table, collecting cards, putting chips in my bag, a la Quacks, and then having 4 to 5 mini games of Quacks where I'm trying to move farthest on this track without busting. Yeah, it has area control, but barely. This is more about the push your luck system of pulling stuff out of a bag, trying to get as far as you can to score points. That's what this game is. This is a push your luck game that takes place over 3 rounds where you're trying to get the most points by pulling better chips out of your bag than your opponent, using the special ability of the allies, using your Wonderlandians. I would not call this an area control game. Yes, you have people that are on a map in a section of a battle, but that has nothing to do with area control. All that's going to provide you is how many times you can pull madness tokens out. I can have 1 person on that board. You could have 8. I could never pull a madness token out and I can still beat you. That's not normally how area control works. That's push your luck. This is a push your luck game. Stop advertising your games as some big deal, some big dudes on a map game that is not what it is. You make great Euro games. Title Blades is incredible. This game's incredible. Sell them as they are. Title Blades, worker placement game with some cool dice rolling. This, push your luck game. Don't call it area control. Don't call it fighting. No, call it what it is. All right, that aside, this game's fantastic. I love everything about this. I've played it 3 times now, and every single time I love it more and more and more. I know there's some broken characters in this first edition. I played as the Jabberwock, which is supposed to be underpowered. I still got second, so didn't even have any special powers unlocked. So maybe I'm just bad. Maybe my group is bad. I don't know. I don't care about that OP stuff. I don't try to play games like that. I don't try to break games like that. But when the new Kickstarter comes out, I'll probably be backing those extra boards just so I can have the corrected characters so everything's balanced and all that stuff. And the expansion that will be coming out. I love it. But even without all that, this game is fantastic. It has 4 different versions of allies. There's A, B, C, and D. So if you get tired of playing one, you can flip to another one, and they're all going to do a little bit of different stuff with their tokens. So many Wonderlandians. I've played 3 games. I still haven't even seen them all yet. It's incredible. So much you can do with pulling these chips out. Every battle is tense, and I don't want to say battle, but every, well, they are battles, I guess. But every time you're pulling chips out of the bag, it's so tense. You get irritated when you bust. You're trying to save your shield. Oh, man, it feels so good. This is everything that I love about in Quacks, but with a little deeper of a game involved. Quacks is still incredible. I love Quacks. I'm not knocking Quacks because of this one, but this has a little bit, that extra Tea Party phase and trying to manage your shards and how you're getting tokens in your bag. That's a little more of a game to me, and I kind of like it. So I'm going to give this a really high rating. I'm not going to give it a 10 quite yet because I've only played it 3 times. I haven't played all the allies. I haven't seen all the Wonderlandian cards. I haven't played all the characters. But I am going to give this a BGM Accept the Seal. It's going to get a 9.5 out of 10 on BGG, which is a 4.75 out of 5 wrenches on an arbitrary wrench scale. That means absolutely nothing, but we have to give it the games that we enjoy, and that's what we're going to do. So if you haven't played this and you like Push Your Luck, you like bag building, you like the Wonderland theme, find this game and play it. It is fantastic. It could be one of my favorite games ever. Now, that's a lot to be saying right now because I've only played it 3 times, but it's that good. It's so fun. Everything about this game, it does everything that I like in a game, and the push your luck makes me love this probably more than I would if it didn't have that, but I'm a sucker for push your luck, and I love this. So that's Wonderland's War from Skybound Games. I'm Jason with the Board Game Mechanics, and as always, keep gaming.